Today's video is about factor theorem. This is specifically for students who are doing further maths at GCSE, not A-levels, but the A-level students use these techniques as well. Now, what we need to do is we need to factorize this, and they've already given us one of the factors. But since the power is a 3, I would expect to get 3 of these little brackets. So my answer should actually look something like this. It should look like x plus 1 into x plus some constant a and x plus some constant b. Okay, it could be minus, but it doesn't really matter now. Okay, it's just a constant. So that's what my answer should look like. Now I've already got one of the factors. What I need to do is, if I divide this by that one factor, it will then give me these other two factors, and then I've got them all. Then I've got all 3. So let's go ahead and do that. The very first method I'll show you is the factorization method. So I'm going to have x plus 1, and I'm going to divide that using long division. But let's make this a little curvy here so you don't think it's a 1. X cubed plus 6x squared minus 9x minus 14. So a little bit of long division here now. Let's go. We're only concerned with the highest power of what we've got. So this is the highest power of what I've got in my numerator. This is the highest power of what I got in my denominator. So what I need to do is this highest power in the numerator divided by this highest power in the denominator, and I will end up with x squared. Okay, when you do x cubed divided by x, you get x squared. That's all I'm interested in. Now what I need to do, multiply the x squared by the x and the 1. So x squared times x gives me x cubed plus x squared times 1 gives me x squared. I now subtract the 2, and x cubed, take away x cubed, cancels out, gives me 0, and 6x squared, take away x squared, gives me 5x squared. Okay. Now, bring down the other bits I haven't used. So I haven't used this minus 9x nor that minus 14. So bring that minus 9x down and that minus 14. Do the same thing now. This is what I've got now left to divide. I'm only interested in the higher power. So 5x squared divided by x is going to give me plus 5x there. Let's multiply it back out. 5x times x gives me 5x squared, and then 5x times 1 gives me plus 5x, and then I'm going to subtract the 2 as usual. So here we go. 5x squared, take away 5x squared, cancels out, that's now gone. Minus 9x, take away 5x, you will add the 2 and you will get minus 14x. Bring down this minus 14 and do the same thing again one final time, which will be, ask yourself, how many times does x go into minus 14x? Well, it goes in minus 14 times, so minus 14 goes there. Multiply it back out. Minus 14 times that x gives me minus 14x. Take away minus 14 times 1 gives me minus 14. That's why I've already got my takeaway there. I subtract the 2 and I'll get 0. Once I get to that point, I am done. So this is where my other two factors lie. So it means therefore that x cubed plus 6x squared minus 9x minus 14 is equal to x plus 1 and x squared plus 5x minus 14. Now you might notice that this answer doesn't look like this just yet, and that's because I need to factorize this. Okay, now because it's a quadratic, it's very easy to factorize, so let's go ahead and factorize that. We'll have x plus 1 there, which is this bit here. If you're doing further maths, I'd expect you to just look at this and know how to factorize it. You should know what your factors are. So it should be x plus 7 and x minus 2. Okay, and that is now done. I have now factorized it and I've got the 1, 2, 3 factors that the question had asked me to find. Just go back up. Yeah, it says find the other 2 factors. I found one. Well, one was given to us and we needed to find the other 2, which we subsequently did just there. Okay, I'm going to show you a different method of doing this question. Right, let's have a look at a different method. So we're going to find the 3 factors. Now remember, one of the factors had been given to us, okay? And that one factor was x plus 1, okay? Now I know that the other 2 factors have to be some ax squared plus some bx plus some constant c. Okay, I know it will be in the form of a quadratic. Now let's assume I don't know what a is, b or c. Okay, but I do know because I've already worked it out, but I just want to prove to you that it works. So let me just copy it over to this page. Okay, I've copied it over to this page. Okay, so here it is up here, x squared plus 5x minus 14. Right, let's bear this in mind. We'll come back to it once we are finished playing around with this. So I know that my other factors will be ax squared plus bx plus c. I know it will be a quadratic because I've only got one part of my answer. Now what I'm going to do is I will now go ahead and expand these 2 brackets. Let's start by multiplying by x first. And so if I multiply everything by x, x times ax gives me ax cubed plus x times bx is going to give me bx squared. X times c is going to give me cx. And then the last thing I need to do is multiply everything by that 1. 1 times ax squared, 1 times bx, and 1 times c. Well, you know, if you multiply it by 1, you'll get back everything being the same. So ax squared plus bx plus c. Now all of this is actually equal to x cubed plus 6x squared minus 9x minus 14, which is what we've got at the top there. Alright, good. My next job, this is now where you see this new method come into life, is I'm going to equate coefficients. Let me write it down first. I'm going to equate coefficients. Let's start with x cubed first. Basically what I'm doing, I'm looking on the left hand side, take out all the numbers in front of x cubed, look on the right hand side and put it equal to all the numbers in front of x cubed on that side as well. So the number in front of x cubed here is 1. If you can't see a number, there is 1. So that's 1 is equal to. When I look over here, the number in front of x cubed is just the letter a. I've already used this, so I can get rid of that. So that's already telling me that a is equal to 1. The number in front of x squared is 1, okay? Which I've already got there. Okay, let's do the other one. I'm now going to equate coefficients of x squared. Let's see what we get. Look in front here, the number in front of x squared here is a 6. So that's going to be 6 is equal to, look on this side now, the number in front of x squared is a b plus an a. So b plus a. I've now used that and that so they can go. Okay, let's get back to this problem. Now, I already know that this a is actually equal to 1 because I've calculated it up here already. So it means that what I've got is 6 is equal to b plus 1, which means that this implies that b is equal to 5. Okay, you'd bring the 1 over and take it away. Well, this is working out quite nicely because I can see here that my b value was 5, which is what I worked out on the slide before. Okay, last of all, just have a look. I've already got a constant, and the only constant I've got on this side is c because it doesn't have any x's next to it. It means it has to be a constant. So I'm going to now equate constants, which means that on the left hand side I've just got minus 14 equal to, on the right hand side I've just got that c. So it means that c is minus 14. Well, look at that. It basically means that all of this is actually equal to x squared plus 5x minus 14. And that's because I know a in front of x squared is 1, b in front of x is 5, and c was my constant, which I've worked out to be 14. And I'm not going to go work this out now because you've already seen me factorize this on the other side of the page. So you can now say that what you've actually got, I'll put this in brackets and put x plus 1 next to it, and all of that is equal to all of that. Okay, so you can go ahead and factorize that yourself, but I've already done it on the page before. All right, let's move on. Okay, so here's another question. It just says factorize the following, and they have not given you any factors at all. It means, therefore, that before you're able to do anything, the first thing you need to do is to go and find a factor. So let me tell you how you're going to do that. What you will need to do is to find your first factor by trial and error. So what you do is you need to put, let's start with guessing that it cuts the x-axis at the number 1. Sometimes it works, it doesn't work, but what I tend to do is I will try 1, then I will try minus 1, then I'll try 2, then minus 2, and usually you will hit it straight away within the first 2 or 3 goes anyway. Okay, so I'm going to try with 1 first. So what I need to do is change all these x's for 1s, okay? I'll use my calculator to do it as well, but what I'm actually calculating is 1 cubed plus 5 times 1 square plus 2 times 1 minus 8, and I'm checking to see if I get 0. Now because I've calculated mine already, I've already got 0. It means that this function cuts the x-axis at x is equal to 1, which tells me that x minus 1 is a factor. Now that I know that x minus 1 is a factor of that, I've got my first factor. I can now factorize and go and find my other 2 factors. If you want to try the division method or the coefficient method, feel free to pause the video here now and go and try it for yourself now that you know what the factor is. But before I do it, I'll just recap and say what you're doing is trying out small values. Always start with 1, then go for minus 1, then 2, and so on. But what you're trying to see is when you substitute it into here, you should get 0. If you get 0, it means that the function cuts the x-axis at whatever it is you just substituted in there. Okay? If I bring the 1 back over, it becomes minus 1, so x minus 1 is a factor. All right, let's go ahead and factorize this now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my long division. I'll do both methods again just so you can see how, just as a reminder. So 5x squared plus 2x minus 8, and I'm going to divide that by x minus 1, right? Okay, job number 1. Ask yourself the question, how many times does x go into x cubed? Well, that's going to be x squared. Then you multiply it out. X squared times x gives you x cubed. And then x squared times minus 1 gives you minus x squared. You subtract the 2 and you will get x cubed take away x cubed means that that's now gone. 5x squared take away minus x squared, the two minuses become plus, so you're actually doing 5x squared plus x squared, so that's going to give you 6x squared. Bring down these two values you haven't used yet, so plus 2x minus 8 there. Now, question again, using the highest powers, how many times x go into 6x squared? Well, it goes in 6x times. You just calculating down one power of x. 6x times x gives you 6x squared minus 6x times minus 1 gives you 6x. Take away and 6x squared, take away 6x squared, cancels out. Then you've got 2x minus 6x, that becomes a plus 8, so that becomes 8x. Bring down this minus 8 here, and go again. How many times does x go into 8x? Well, it goes 8 times. Then multiply out 8 times x gives you 8x. Take away 8 times minus 1 is minus 8. When you subtract the 2, you get 0. And so finally, we can say that, let me just jot it down below here, we can say that x cubed plus 5x squared plus 2x minus 8 is actually equal to x minus 1 and x squared plus 6x plus 8. Again, we don't really fancy having this quadratic just lingering about. We'll need to expand it into two brackets. So that's going to be then x minus 1 and x plus 4 and x plus 2. Okay, and that is now done. We factorized it. Now, if you wanted to see it using the coefficient method, I'm going to quickly run through that now, and then we'll end the video there, okay? Okay, let's go. All right, so just to remind ourselves what we were working out. Okay, so we were just told that we needed to factorize that. The first stage that I did in the previous slide, where you needed to do a little bit of trial and error, you must do that here, okay? So, because you needed to find your first factor. So when you substitute x is equal to 1 in this function, then it equals to 0, which told you that x minus 1 is a factor, okay? You have to do that bit. If you haven't been given it, you have to do that, all right? Now that we know that that's a factor, we're now going to use the coefficient method to sort it out. So let's rewrite it. We'll have x cubed plus 5x squared plus 2x minus 8, and that is equal to x minus 1 into ax squared plus bx plus c. All right, and if again you need reminding, we know that because if one of this is linear, which is x minus 1, the other will have to be quadratic in order for us to make up for the x cubed that we've got there. Okay, all right, let's go. First job, as you might have guessed, expand that bracket. Because I've done it before, I'm just going to literally pause the video here and just write it out. Okay, so all I needed to do, x times ax squared is ax cubed, x times bx, bx squared, x times c, cx, and then 1 times my ax, they're all going to be minuses down there. Okay, and that is equal to x cubed plus 5x squared plus 2x minus 8. And your first job now is to equate coefficients of x cubed, if that's the way you want to start. The coefficient of x cubed here is a 1, so that's going to be a 1 equal to there's only one x cubed on this side, which is this one here, and the coefficient is a. Okay, so that means that a is equal to 1. Now I will equate coefficients of x squared this time. The coefficient of x squared here is a 5 equal to the coefficient of x squared on this side is a b minus a. Okay, so that's going to be b minus a. I forgot to mark off. I've done that, I've done that, I've done that. So b minus a. Okay, great. Now I already know that a is equal to 1. So this is actually equal to 1. So it means that what I'm actually working out is 5 is equal to b minus 1. You bring the 1 over, it will add. So it means that b is equal to 6. Okay, lovely. And last of all, because I've only got that constant on the end here, which corresponds with that, when I equate constants, I will get minus 8 is equal to minus c. Get rid of your minuses, so c is equal to 8. And so that tells me now then that x cubed plus 5x squared plus 2x minus 8 is equal to x minus 1 into, well, let's see what we've got. A is 1, so that means that will just be x squared. B is 6, which means that that will be 6x. And C is 8, which means that that will just be plus 8. And as I've done before, I've already gone through showing you that we'll factorize that, and we will get x minus 1, x plus 4, and x plus 2. All right, so that's it, guys. That's all I needed to show you, those two methods. What I need to say towards this end is you don't have to learn both of them. You just need one. So pick one that you know you like best, one that you feel really confident with, and use that one going forwards. Okay, they're both a little bit lengthy in one way or another, but at the end of it all, you don't need both. Okay, the question isn't going to specifically say to use one or the other. It'll just ask you to factorize it. So make sure that you are aware of how to do that. All right, hope that it was straightforward. Hope that you enjoyed it. And I'll catch you up on the next one.